Ben Turner taking the stage at the Vuelta A Espana, his first Grand Tour stage win, only his third professional career win. That was phenomenal, Adam, wasn't it?
Unreal. I mean, the man is about 6'10", and to beat them sprinters in a sprint like that, we know he's on form. He won in the Tour of Poland recently. But against these sprinters, against Pedersen, against Philipsen, like, none of him picked him today at the start of the show. He wasn't even in our top 10. He should have been, obviously, but just a brilliant, brilliant win from him. This is the right-hand corner. Hopefully we can have a look at this in slow motion a little bit later, because if you look at here on the left-hand side, you can see Pedersen in third wheel. The move starts to come on the right-hand side with Alpecin moving up, and that's where everyone rolls and tends to go. The important bit here for me is why Pedersen missed out. He goes on the left, but that's where the lead-out stopped pedalling, so he gets massively boxed in, has to freewheel, has to stop. In the meantime, everyone is taking speed coming into this left-hand turn, and that makes Pedersen go a long way back. But Turner here got him through safe. You know, Kwiato dropped him off with about a K to go, and then he just found himself on Philipsen's wheel. The slow drag up to the line here, he just timed it for perfection, really. I mean, this would be good to go from on the overhead to analyse everything after it, but for Ben Turner, what a flipping win.
Just found the space on the right. I mean, there was a lot of elbows at dawn as well on that left-hander with Olara as well. Yeah, there was, and then there was Vernon got the whole shot. There was a low going on in that corner, but then in that finish, once he wound things up on the right-hand side. He moved in, he deviated from his line ever so slightly, but that was some turn of speed. That the drag favoured him, but couldn't be more delighted. Actually, I did have a green highlight for Ben Turner's day, by the way.
And what does green stand for?
Could be a possible sprint winner.
There you go. Well, he was. You said, Adam, that he wasn't in any of our top 10 picks for the day. He wasn't top 10 in the race so far. He was 12th on stage 1. As you say, he's had a great season so far. Brilliant Tour pole and a couple of podiums and the stage win. But this, by far, the biggest day of his career, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, by far. I mean, what a brilliant ride for him. But let's go through this sprint finish, because it is an interesting one. This is just out the last corner, and the heli isn't great, but that's Ben Turner there. I think that's Ethan Vernon, and that's Philipsen. So Ben Turner on the right wheel, and Pedersen, the other man we're going to try and concentrate on, his right down there, so he's a long, long way back. Bear in mind, this is going uphill now, and as I said, the heli's not great, but if we look in front, the road turns. So with this shot here, you can see them go from the left to the right, and at this point, you can see Vernon, if I just press pause, Vernon starts to go on the left-hand side here, but the road, that's the fastest line, so up the left-hand side of the barrier. So the trajectory in which they're going, Vernon realises he's got no room, so he has to freewheel at this moment in time. So he sits down, starts to freewheel here, and in the meantime, you can see where Philipsen is. He's on the left-hand side of the wheel, so's Vernon. He has to stop pedalling, but Ben has already started his sprint in clear space, which is the right thing to do. Meanwhile, Pedersen still not even in shot yet, right down here. So as it starts to go on from that, you can see now this is where we started to question a little bit. So you've got Vernon in the middle, and then you've got Philipsen with just enough room, but he wants to start going on this side. He looks like he started move, but Ben's already carrying speed. As this carries on ever so slightly, I wonder if I can do this, which makes it a little bit easier. Ben, this is a speed bump, so this is where Philipsen starts to go on the right, but just look at the trajectory of Ben. He is starting to come across to that barrier to stop Vernon coming through. So these two collide, but in the meantime, Jasper's started to come out here, so Vernon's in a really, really difficult position of knowing where to go. So he touches the hip of Turner, makes him sit down, he gets out the saddle again, but at this point here now, this is where Philipsen starts to go on the right-hand side. So the move that Turner made looks exaggerated because Philipsen is now starting to shut the door on Vernon. He is really holding his line. So it just looks massively exaggerated compared to what it should be.
Can you rewind that a little bit so we can just see where Ben Turner is in relation to the lines in the centre of the road as well, just to see how much he's moving or not?
So there's the centre of the line in the road. I don't want to start throwing criticism, but he should be really in that trajectory within his lane. So, yeah, he did. I think he did really, but it just looks slightly exaggerated there. They come over a speed bump as well. So at that point, yeah, Philipsen starts to get space, but by that time, he's already got the jump on him, Turner, and he just gets away with it clearer. And I think the problem is that looks exaggerated because of where Vernon was. You know, he was in the middle of it, he had to sit down, and when he started going again, Philipsen started to move out, so it just looked like...
Put his elbow out as well, so Vernon almost... he had to sit down, he freewheeled ever so slightly, twice actually, Vernon, put his elbow out, but by then, the momentum that Turner's got. We know he's got so much horsepower on a long sprint like that, but he just had the perfect line. And on 2 occasions, Adam pointed out, both Philipsen and Vernon were on the wrong side of the wheel. So that caused the problem. That's why they were essentially boxed in by just that little bit of an overlap. And at no point was Turner overlapping anybody. And had all that space on the right, didn't he?
There's one little thing as well. Just where Turner started his sprint, they came off a speed bump. So that big speed bump, no matter how fast you're going, it's going to throw you a little bit left or right. So if there is a complaint, I know the organisers never get in trouble for doing anything wrong with barriers, etc. But the speed bump's always going to throw you left or right a tiny bit when you're out of the saddle at full pelt. So for me, Turner, absolutely nothing wrong. It was just the way that he started his sprint, and Philipsen coming across, he just got caught in the middle.
It'd be really unfair, you would feel, if he was in any way penalised.
Yeah, we've got to talk about it, because there's so much to talk about there. There was a slight deviation. But
and these are the things that the commissaires look at as well. And you're saying whether or not there'll be a complaint. They don't need a complaint, do they? The commissaires can decide unilaterally.
Yeah, it doesn't need to come from anywhere.
Well, we've just told them.
Yeah, I mean...
We told them it's all fine. You're OK, commissaires.
It was, and just that cathartic roar as he crossed the line. I mean, OK, he's won big this year, but to win in a Grand Tour, as you were saying, in front of the Leipes of Mads Pedersen and Philipsen, in a sprint like that, toe-to-toe, is brilliant. And I felt for Rijkaard, because he ended up third, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I don't think it was Rijkaard. I don't think it was Rijkaard. I think it was another one. It might have been...
It was Planckaert.
But Planckaert was also caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. Like, do I keep sprinting? Because I could actually... I've got a bit more pace here. He was just caught out, almost like a... Yeah, it was like a third wheel there, wasn't it? But fantastic.
It was Brits and Belgians taking up all of the top 5 spots in the end, wasn't it? Ben Turner, then Jasper Philipsen, then Edward Planckaert, Ethan Vernon and Jente Beermans. I have to let you know that we have a new red jersey after all of that. Look at the surprise. I love this. Keeping them going. Go man. No, not a no.
Too much intrigue for one episode.
A red jersey one, and we've got another red jersey as well.
Shall I let them know who?
Ooh, go on.
David Gaudu. Not that much of a surprise. David Gaudu is our new red jersey, which is huge for the Frenchman. He's never led a Grand Tour before, despite having an awful lot of pressure on his shoulders as a Frenchman, of course, in the Tour de France for a number of years. He's still on the same time as Jonas Vingegaard, but this is all working on countback. This is how close it is right now at the top of the general classification, because David Gaudu finished 25th today. Jonas finished in 42nd. So we're on exactly the same time as we were, no time differential at the start of the day. Giulio Ciccone still in third. He's on 8 seconds. Everything else is as was, apart from, you can see at the bottom of our top 10 there, Sepp Kuss has moved up to 9th. Juan Ayuso is now down in 10th. Don't forget that we did have Valentin Paris-Bandre taking up one of those spots at the start of the day, because he'd ridden into 10th yesterday but didn't start today because of illness. So that leaves us beautifully poised heading into the team time trial, doesn't it, for that battle for the red jersey.